everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and today I'm going to be talking about some tips and tricks when it comes to critique partners. It's been a while since I did a tips and tricks video, so I thought I'd start the year with a new one. So here we go. Number 1, make sure you connect. One big thing about critique partners is that you're going to be sharing your drafts with them. So make sure there's someone you can talk to, that you get along with. I don't mean you have to be instant best friends, but you want someone whose input you trust and who has the same level of skill as you. You want to be able to provide them with as much feedback as they provide you with. You want both to be both on the same page as to what you would expect from a CP. Like for instance, you might be someone who wants to read chapter by chapter. Personally, I don't like doing that, so my CP and I will swap full manuscripts rather than bits and pieces. But if this is something you want to do, make sure it's also something that your CP wants to do as well. Because there's no point setting yourself or your CP up to fail, so be sure to communicate what you want with them and from them and listen to their responses for the same. The last thing either one of you want is a situation where you both hate what you're doing. That adds nothing to the relationship and just makes it difficult for the both of you. So be upfront and communicate to be sure things don't get lost along the way. Number 2, remember that you're partners. I feel like this is an important point to remember. As I said before, a critique partner is someone who you swap manuscripts with and give critique. It's not a case of sending yours and doing nothing in return. This is a partnership and should be treated as such. So if you're running late on a deadline, make sure to tell your CP, don't ghost them, that's just shitty. But also make sure that you're not teaming up with someone who writes a genre you hate, that just doesn't make sense long term. Make sure there is open communication, however you choose to do so, which is a key point in maintaining that relationship, whether that's by email or Discord or chatting in a DM on Twitter and the like. You need to decide what works for both of you and adjust accordingly. Which leads to number 3, schedules are your friend. Reading a book and offering a critique is not the same as reading for fun. You're going to be looking at it from a different view than both as a writer and a reader. You want to be looking for things like plot holes or characterizations that doesn't work. One of my CPs asks me to act as a sensitivity reader for the disabled characters, and this is something you as a CP can offer, but it shouldn't be the only thing. Now going back to schedules, you need to know what time frame works for your CP. You need to slot that time into your own working time. If they need the book in a month, which is usually what my CP and I do when swapping for manuscripts, then you need to be making sure you have set time aside to fulfill your side of things. It's not a case of never being able to ask for extra time. Life happens and sometimes that means needing to take a break. But that's where communication is your friend, and letting your CP know is the best option. Overall, you should have some idea of what expects of you and how long it takes for you to reach that goal, and plan accordingly. Which leads to number 4, know what your expectations are. If you're going into this expecting something from your CP, you need to communicate that with them. They're not going to be able to read your mind. You need to say what you'd like to get from it and also be ready to hear what they will expect from it as well. Back to point 2, this is a partnership. You can't be working against each other and expect it to work out. So make sure you know what you want from your CP. Things like, do you want them to point out typos or grammar issues? Do you want them to just stick to plot holes or leave any grammar etc. alone? Do you want them to add in their own sensitivity reading should they be able? Do you want them to talk about characterizations and anything else that might be jarring? While all of these can be considered musts for the majority of people, you need to decide what you want from your CP. And you need to ask what they expect to come out of this as well. It can be other things like whether they prefer to leave comments as they read or if you just like an email at the end listing all the problems. It's up to you, and you need to work out what you expect so that you're able to communicate that. And finally, number 5, where do you find CPs? I added this because I feel like a lot of people talk about how to work together, but they don't touch on where you find them. I found mine in a number of places, like the Book Web Notes, which is linked below. They have a forum for people looking for CPs and beta readers and have been a huge resource for me. You can also find them online through social media, whether that's in Twitter using certain hashtags like writing community and sending out a call for a CP or two, or looking through groups on Facebook. Overall, it's a lot of work, but there are a number of sites that exist solely to set you up with a good CP, and for those I'll dig out some links and put them down below. The big things to remember are that you want someone who writes in your genre, to your skill level, and who's willing to give the match a try. I can't speak highly enough of my CP, and I know that I've been very lucky in finding her, so go out and grab yourself a CP and have a lot of fun getting to know them and working together. CPs are a necessary part of the editing process, of the writing process, of making sure that your work is the story that you want to tell. As I said, I've been very lucky in finding my CPs. I've been very lucky in finding people who have been willing to work across the multiple genres and who like my work, etc, etc. But you do need somebody who's at the same skill level as you, as I'm sure you're aware, because if you're swapping critiques, they need to be able to write to your skill level and you need to be able to write to theirs. So those are my 5 tips when it comes to finding CPs and all the rest of it. Do you have a CP? Where did you find them? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I have time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pick up Dying Thoughts 8th Ending, and don't forget to pick up Lights Out, all the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye!